And now to the airport. Or is it really an airport? We're about to find out. But if it were an airport that we were about to discuss, we would have to consider security, check-in counters, self-service machines, coffee selection, toilet hygiene, PA announcements, airline apps, all this before you even boarded the flight. Isn't it wonderful that some airports, or maybe airports is just a proxy, that are really trying to elevate the traveler experience? Joining us from Berlin, Christoph and Sercan, am I saying that right? Sercan, there we go, thank you, are here to share how journey mapping and enterprise design helped airport authorities make better choices for us as travelers. Give them a warm welcome.
Hello. So, hello everybody. So, last year I have participated the.
Hello.
Yeah. Last time I have participated the intersection event. The first time I have learned and enjoyed. But this time, I'm glad to be a speaker with my dear colleague, Christoph. I had very inspiring 2 days. So how was your thoughts, Chris?
I also enjoyed the conference. Thank you for bringing EDGY to my attention. And I also enjoyed to check out Rome a bit. So I don't know, I think a few of you also did. So please raise your hand if you also used the time to check out Rome and do some sightseeing and stuff. All right. So, yeah, and I also think we had a complete nice journey starting with a smooth ride from Berlin.
Yeah, except that we have waited a lot at the security gate queue. Do you remember?
The security, you're right, yeah. We waited like 20, 30 minutes to get through the security, and we're actually not the only people who have troubles at an airport. Here you can see some typical problems that travelers usually have. Baggage gets lost, the gate information might be shown with a delay, or flights may be overbooked. But airports are actually working on improving the customer experience. But as we all know, not all projects goes as planned. Actually, according to McKinsey, around 70% of all organizational transformational projects are failing due to typical reasons like lack of alignment, poor collaboration. And as you can see, these are already topics where EDGY can help. And also inaccessible and scattered information is a typical problem. So since we are working in the field of digital transformation, we had an idea. Sercan, can you tell the audience about our idea?
Yes, so far we have discussed about the problems at the customer perspective. So how are these problems perceived and handled by the enterprise perspective? To tackle with this challenge, we have combined the EDGY and the customer journey mapping methodology by taking advantage of collaborative enterprise design platform. So how? So, yeah, thank you. So, and the left-hand side, as a very common practice, we have tailored the EDGY according to this specific airport business needs. And the right-hand side, we can see a piece of customer journey map that populated with full of EDGY elements. We can continue. Yes. Before seeing the bigger picture, let's look at the use case to interpret our unified approach. So in this business case, IT departments of airport knows that there is room for improvement, but it's not clear how to sound at the customer expectations. So measure this impact on the customer expectations. The enterprise design team, first of all, adopt EDGY as a standard, and also as a second step, they will collect the customer journey, the customer expectations, to build a customer journey map. Now we can see, yes, the customer journey map. You can go one step back, please. Yeah, we can see the previous slide. Yes. Yes, so far we talk about the problems at the customer perspective and the enterprise perspective. Now we will try to find a diagnostic and a possible solution. We have a three-phase approach here. The first one is the customer journey. The second one is the business process analysis. But last but not least, the IT portfolio rationalization. Yes, this is a customer journey map. Actually, this is a matrix we can interpret at the horizontal and the vertical lanes. So, yeah, the first lane is processes in the architecture facets. So we have 5 processes: flight information, check-in, security, entertainment, and the boarding. So all other elements group with these head processes. The next, yes. The next is tasks emotional, which are the expectations from customer, which means tasks from the enterprise side. In the first line, we can see the finding my way easily and the flight on time, the tasks emotional. Yeah, we can go further. Yes, here in the vertical line, we can see the channels that customers approach to the products and the services, which are the airport screens to check flights, the airport staffs to ask questions, and the security staff, boarding hall, and the flight attendants are channels. The next, these are the actions which are journey, have touch point with the customer. So two journeys, as an example, the find a right terminal, find a flight info on the screen. So in a horizontal way, we can see that it's grouped by the channels. In the vertical way, it's grouped by the head processes. We can continue. Yeah. The assets. The assets are resourced here. The enterprise used to create a particular business capability. So you can, yeah. Let's zoom in. So the assets, we have grouped the assets with the title of customer touchpoints. So these are resources that the customer has the connection directly, which is the airline agent to ask a question, the airport mobile application as a software, and the sub-processes about flight changes. Yeah, the last but not least, the tasks functions represents the problems that should be handled. So in this case, the problem is travelers complain about lack of information. And and we have grouped it with the pain point title, and every pain point has every pain point addressed with a customer touch point here. Let's back to the customer touch point. Yes, we have a complaint about these touch points. Let's deep dive on the sub-processes get change information, get normal flight information, and update public flight information. Now we will see the business process map of them. Yes, exactly the same processes. When we look at the inner rectangle, the communication manager starts the flight change requests. And these requests handled by gate changes information processes. After the request process, it transforms to flight details revision data. So this data processed by update public flight information process with the help of AirWing self-drop application we can see in the right corner. So we will continue to investigate life cycle of this data, but now in the IT discipline, and my friend Chris will continue.
Thank you. So now that we've been diving in the EDGY-enabled customer journey, we are now in the repository and finding our way towards the pain point, towards the cause of the pain point. And here we can see that the AirWing self-drop application that has been identified is sending data to two other applications. One of them being the airport mobile one. And if there's any technical issue with sending this information, for example, if it's wrong or delayed or anything, that's a problem. Why? Because airport mobile is the customer-facing application. So if we look into the details, we can see the ratings, which are the boxes on top. And we can, if we want to identify the cause, we focus on the most serious ones first, which are indicated by the red color. And here we can see that the obsolescence risk is very high, which means the application is outdated or using outdated technologies. And that's a problem, right? Because if there's any issue, it will not be fixed if it's outdated. And also the number of incidents is very high. So if we have a deeper look into the underlying technologies that are supporting our applications, one is sticking out, which is the AirWing self-drop front-end. We can see the same indications as above, which is the prohibited company standard, so it's not according to company standards anymore, and also that it's obsolete. And being obsolete in this case is a problem with the life cycle. So to further investigate, we simply compare the life cycle of our application with the life cycle of the underlying technologies. And we can see that our application has been in production since 2018, but AirWing self-drop front-end, here in the middle, on the bottom, is already obsolete since 2018, which is causing this conflict. And and if there's any problem with this application, if, for example, the vendor has some troubles with this, he will not be fixing it because it's already out of support. So we can identify AirWing self-drop frontend as the cause for the pain point and the issue that we need to fix. So in an ideal scenario, our IT would now come up with a plan with the typical phases like development, test, QA, and a rollout. And in this use case, let's say they fixed everything. So that means all the evaluations are now green. The software is working. Customers get their flight information on time. No complaints. And also the business value, of course, then increases. So that concludes our use case. And Sercan, can you maybe explain which EDGY elements we've touched during our journey?
Yes. So solution was fast, right? And yeah, so far we have touched every facet of the EDGY. So at the identity facet, we have collaborated, we have provided a collaboration between business process analysis team with the IT architecture team. So at the architecture facet, we have done a root cause analysis with the technologies of the architectures and the data life cycle also tracked. In the experience level, we have done customer journey mapping, and we have find out in business process level there could be a potential problem.
Thank you. So the advantages of this approach are obviously that it can be applied in more scenarios than just an airport, because it enables a seamless transition from discussing high level to a detailed analysis in a repository. That means you don't need to walk around your company, find out who's the expert who can tell you about any kind of process or underlying technologies. You just stay in this one platform and can be much faster doing those transformational projects. So allow us just a few words about ourselves. We are a consulting firm from Germany. Our consultants combine 25 years of experience. And we have customers like multinational corporations, banks, and government agencies all over Europe. Here you can see our contacts page, which shows that we're not only good at mixing EDGY, but also at mixing cocktails. So the question is, how will you mix EDGY? Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your perspectives. I like where this is going. Any inputs or questions for our delightful duo? Yes.
Thank you for your presentation. I am always interested in the aviation business. Your client in this case was the airport, is that correct? Oh, thank you, sorry about that. And I think that also front ends are provided by airlines, for example, to see like gate information or changes in like schedules, etc. Like, does the airport ever inquire about this kind of a, let's say, multi-channel type of approach of how the customer gets the information, but you have to go across a different entity? Did you look at cases like that?
Yes, you're addressing an important point, because we know that a lot of people also would search for information like that about the gate, for example, even on Google, right? So they're not necessarily downloading apps from every single airport. They're using the app from the airline, they're using Google, they're using whatever. And here, in this case, we are focusing on the underlying technologies. So if we fix the root problem, like, because the source of the information is the airport, right? If there's a problem, Google can also not display the correct information. So fixing it here means also fixing it for everybody else.
It's a second part question, but what advice do you have for people working on these multi-organization transactions? Like, how do you suggest that to the airport if the airport doesn't notice it? Like, how do you convince your client to capture the scope that's probably actually important? Do you have any advice for us?
No, not really. I guess it's the same like we already had in other talks, that it's more like using EDGY, but not necessarily trying to convince the customer that EDGY is the way to go.
Okay, thank you.
I can add to the question. And here we have done a top-down approach. We have started from the customer's expectations, and these expectations gives as the direction. So the standardization and model can guide us also.
Hi. I was wondering whether this kind of approach can be mixed with a more prospective approach, especially in fields like cybersecurity, and also mixing the IT level, but also with the field level, because we know the difficulties now for this field is to join the field and the cyber
Yes.
place. Yeah.
Yes. Actually, we are implementing this approach data-centric. So we have started to follow the life cycle of data from the creation. It was the requests started by organizational unit, and we have tracked it to the IT level in very deep. So in any other IT governance, we have the implementing the approach. For example, the DORA resilience, the Financial Resilience Act in Europe, we are implementing it. And as Chris said, we have the financial customers. The security is high at this level. Yes, we have a playbook approach. So we are classifying the solutions cell-based, so according to customers' expectations and needs. So we provide the related cell, and we show the solution. We explaining solution in the business level and the IT level.
I hope I will not be seen as an heretic, but if we imagine there's no EDGY, how would you approach the same situation without having this toolkit? Is there a way, or would there be a way to do that?
Yes. For example, personally, I have the 12 years experience with the Gartner Leader toolkits. So it's not only my job, it's my interests. So I'm taking certifications even if it's not necessary. And in our company also we have the 25 years experienced enterprise architects. So yeah, when we look at this point of view, it could be really to interpret, and as I said before, with the sales approach, with the solutions, they are very adaptable. We can find the solution. So, and all these toolkits has the layers very well known, the business level and the IT level, the infrastructure level. So with the experience, we can know that how to approach it.
All right. Well, thank you so much again for sharing your stories. Big round of applause. Thank you.